Alright, so it's basically Thursday, week 2. Again, you can see it pretty much here. We're down 0.20. Bad trades. One bad trading day completely took out all my wins from last week. And basically what I plan on doing here is just continuing to do what I gotta do, trading one to two trades a day, 1%. My mentality right now is I want to risk more. I want to risk 2%. I want to take that one good trade and just pass this whole account. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But again, I just can't be thinking like that. I have to eliminate that from my mind. And that's what I'm trying to do. Today, is one of the worst trading days since, this whole month. Almost blew this right here, my daily loss limit. And of course, I just ended it here because where I break even. And I just don't want to trade any further today. And as you can see here, 191 basically blew all this profit. And I just really want to reevaluate what I'm doing. I want to take, a second to just step away today. I'm going to review the trades. I'm going to go over what I did wrong, but I need to journal them first. So I'll probably come back with another video journaling, but I just want to update you guys here. Just multiple trades here, just taking more than one trade, scaling in profits, and then eventually getting stopped out. And then the first and the last trade again today weren't really the best in my opinion. I went over this in my Telegram and I posted it on the Telegram trade review. So make sure you guys join the Telegram. Everything was correct in my opinion. This right here for these 4 trades were correct. But I think this is a beautiful lesson, it's a blessing in disguise. Last time, it's like my last account on my phase 2 account. What am I gonna do? How am I gonna handle this? How am I gonna move on? How am I gonna learn from this? How am I gonna grow from this? That's where true development comes from. Again, today I went in the market with expectations. I think that's what killed me, bro. I went into the market with expectations to trade, to take a trade, to find a trade setup, take a trade. That's what forced me to be impulsive. I need to stop having expectations, even on high quality days. Because this whole week I haven't really taken a trade except for Monday, which was a break even, but not really high quality with volume and volatility. I need to stop having expectations to take a trade. I think that's what killed me. I went into the market expecting to trade today, and that's what killed me. It just snapped my head off like nothing. I wasn't following my game plan. I wasn't looking at this right here, my notepad. I wasn't going over it. And it was very, very unfortunate the way I was just stuck inside of this little zone where I was so frustrated with myself, and I was frustrated with how I haven't taken a trade this whole week that is high quality to pass me the account. I'm up 3%. I want to pass this account on one trade, and then boom, we just got humbled. I think I need to reset. That's what I'm going to do today. I'm just going to reset. I'm going to journal. I'm going to review. I'm going to reset. And that's pretty much it. We're basically at break even. I'm cool with that. Risking 1%. 1 or 2 trades a day, and that's it. I'm done. All right, it's gonna be the update for the same day, and I'm gonna go over basically the trades and what happened. This one right here, you can see we entered, stopped out, then eventually the market moved so much more higher. I'm a little irritated, but again, I cooled down earlier, and I'm just like don't really care about it. Again, 5-minute inverse, 5-minute breaker formed. We entered, boom, retrace, went up higher. Same thing with this one, breaker, entry, retrace, went up higher. I got stopped out. Again, this one too. And then this one was the inversion entry. So I think one thing I should have done was probably not enter before 9:30. So I'm gonna work on that, not entering before 9:30 on the indices. And then probably for the other ones, probably having a little bit of a better stop loss and not entering like 3 positions all at one time in the same candle in the same price leg. And then the first one, just again, no confluences really to enter. So I think this one should have been a no-brainer. No entry here on this one. I already missed like majority of the move, and just pointless to try to enter or rather anticipate this one right here. So even on this one, we had like a 15-minute BC form retracement. We could have looked for an entry around here, or we could have looked for this one to get inverse trace. Then we went higher. That could have been the second move, and we could have got that instead of just instantly forcing our hand down here, and not being patient. So again, pretty simple, pretty clear. I know what I need to do. I do want to risk more. This is the thing. I want to risk like 2%, maybe even a little bit more on an A plus, like a super clean setup. I might do that, honestly. I might not. Usually my psychology takes a toll whenever I lose. I just get really, really irritated. We're gonna go over the trades again. Didn't really follow our game plan. So FX last trade right here again. 4-hour internal resistance busy. Never really held in my opinion to target the external resistance buy side, which again we were targeting the sell side here. We were tracing more to like the daily buy side and balance down here. 1-hour time frame again. Buy side and balance here, waiting for the closure, waiting for the SIBI to form, inverse, and then going higher. Simple. Again, just being patient, waiting for your setup. Again, this one, it makes me a little irritated. 4-hour buy side and balance. No 1-hour confluence except for these 2 down close candles. Even then, that wouldn't even really be a confluence in my opinion. And then eventually on the 15-minute time frame, we had nothing. We had nothing form on the 15-minute time frame here. And then on the 5-minute, we had a 5-minute breaker with an inversion down there. So right here, we had an inversion form with a 5-minute breaker, and we entered off of that. Our stop loss was at right here. This is our stop loss at this low, because this is kind of considered a balanced price range, and I think I should have probably had a better stop loss in my opinion. I think the stop was a little bit too tight in my opinion. I just don't know how many pips it was, but again, it was pretty tight. I think we should have put it at least below this order block. We should have had at least 3 PD arrays. So again, going back to my 3 PD array rule, this could have been, at least, the first one, the breaker, second one, the inverse, and then this order block here, the third one. So like down here, That would have been a better stop loss. And then eventually the market just went up so much higher. And yeah, again, since we don't really have a 15 and a 1 hour confluence, I think this should have been pretty self-explanatory. So yeah. And then for this one right here is just really the same thing. Waiting for 9:30 though on this one. And that's really it. Every single confluence was the same. And then GPB USD, no 15-minute confluences on the 1 minute. There was no 15-minute confluence here. We entered all the way down here. Could have at least waited for this retracement to the mean threshold, tap into it, then looking for shorts. And even then, just probably waiting for this up here to be tapped up into, which probably never was tapped up into. And then eventually on the 1 hour, waiting for that 1 hour because it is overlapping with the 15-minute confluence. So yeah, probably waiting up there for a deeper premium to be hit, and then eventually looking for shorts. And that's really it, you know. That's pretty much really it. Pretty simple stuff on the trades that we should have taken and like what we should have been looking for and expecting. You know, it's pretty self-explanatory. Again, I wasn't really there mentally. Now that I'm reviewing it from like level-headed perspective, I'm like, all right, yeah, I know what I did wrong. I know what I need to do next time, and I'm gonna actually journal them. I'm actually gonna write it down in my notebook, and I'm just gonna pretty much really talk to myself there. I'm like, all right, but I need to stop focusing on the monetary success or the monetary gain. That's something I've been focusing a lot more. I'm like, all right, $400, that's risking 2%, $100, and then if you hit, you know, like a 1 to 4, you pass the account. You know, I need to stop really thinking like that, because that's kind of what I want to do. I want to hit a 1 to 4. I want to hit a nice quick 1 to 4. I can do that. I can go to the super lower time frames, find a super high quality setup, hit a 1 to 4, risk 2%, and I'm gonna pass the account in one trade. Oh my goodness, I can do that. No, you know, it's not like that. I don't want to do that, you know, but I don't want to take one trade and, you know, I want to be consistent rather than having that one hit wonder, you know. But then I know I can hit a 1 hit wonder and then eventually be consistent, you know. It's just like so many different things. All right, guys, so you can see here pretty much it's Friday. The news already came out, blah, blah, blah. It's 10:24 New York game session, and I'm going to show you guys the account. Basically, today's Friday, 6:21, basically break even. I did go down, I won't lie, a little bit more. You can see 51, minus 51, so minus 1%. And then eventually I brought it back up, and I brought a little bit more profit into it. I'm not proud about the trade I took today either, both of them actually. And I'm going to show you guys that basically, and that's really it. So we're going to go over here, and I'm going to show you guys on the 15-minute time frame the Euro USD trade we took today. You can see here we took plenty of positions. Again, I'm just not really proud of that. On SPX and then eventually on Euro, we took one trade. You can see here we took one little short, and then eventually we got stopped out. Again, I'm chasing price, I'm chasing the market, and on the 15-minute time frame, we're moving lower. I was like, all right, we're trying to reach our daily PDA right here on the 4 hour here. This lower here, we never really met it, so I was like, all right, 15-minute time frame, you know, these little retracements were going to come up and then eventually go back down. And you know, I was like, all right, and then eventually I thought to myself, you know, this trade is not viable. What am I doing? You know, like there's no PDA. Again, I'm just catching myself when I'm making the mistakes and I close it. I need to catch myself before I even enter, you know, the trade, before I even make the mistake. I need to catch myself instead of just catching myself after I make the mistake and then the damage is already done. You know, I need to learn how to just catch myself before I take those trades. And then eventually here on this one, I won't lie, I did kind of want this trade to run, but I'm just not really in the right state of mind to be letting these trades run, in my opinion. My original profit was all the way up here in the 1 hour time frame, and I do believe we're still going to reach it, but I just don't want to be on the charts at all for the rest of the week. I have other things I got to do. And I was watching Omar's podcast with Riz. So Omar, the MBB trader, basically part 2. I was watching it, taking notes, and basically that's basically what I want to do. I want to do my homework, and then eventually I want to get FX replay. I want to backtest certain models, but I need to really like find a good definition of how I'm gonna enter them. So like mechanically, I gotta do more research and study it more. So that's kind of why I exited this trade, because I gotta do other things first, and those are more important than holding this trade right now and, you know, having the mental capital to hold this trade. And again, here we're 519. I won't lie, this trade was up here. We did close it down here. It was up here. We're like at 560 something, 5,060, 70 around there, 580. And I was like, man, you know, if we go to 100, that's 2%. I want to close it right there. But then I thought to myself, like, why am I thinking in the monetary, you know, success rate? But again, here we took this trade because we saw an order block. An order block form. We did kind of want a breaker, but we never really got it. And then we saw an inverse form. We started entering. And again, we're in the daily PDA array, so that's kind of why. And I did scale in a lot of positions here. I'm not even gonna lie. That's the thing. I thought this was gonna give me a lot more profit. That's kind of why I entered with so many. But then eventually I just noticed, you know, it wasn't doing that. So on this one, we entered with 3 lots. That's kind of why it was like such a big L with such small movement. And then on these, you know, it was like not much movement. These were like a good amount of movement, but not much profit in my opinion. Yeah, I think this trade is still going to run. If you look at Dow Jones, that's kind of the market I was wanting to trade this whole week. But again, you can see just very sloppy delivery. But nonetheless, we did deliver higher. I'm not going to lie. I need to control myself. It's more of a risk tolerance, my mindset right now. You know, I just want to risk more. I feel like I can risk more. If I find a good quality setup, I want to risk more. But at the same time, I'm like, wait, hold on. You should build a buffer. You should, you know, 1% and then eventually start to risk more after you have a buffer. But I want to be paid. I feel like I'm just trying to rush it. That's kind of what I'm digging into myself right now. I'm like thinking to myself, like, why are you trying to rush this account? Why are you trying to risk 2%, have one good trade and then pass the account? That's not worth it. You want to be consistent. You want to have the equity curve to be consistent to, you know, the uphill. Whenever we're choosing like lower quality setups like this right here, or like the other one from like the the past day where right here on GU, like these are low quality setups. I should not be taking these again, and they're chipping away at my capital. Same with the SPX one and then this one. They're chipping away at my capital. I shouldn't even be taking these in my opinion. You know, if one trade a day, you choose the highest quality setup and that's it. You know, if you take one trade a day and you're holding yourself accountable, which I'm not, and you'll be able to prevent mistakes like this because you'll be able to tell yourself, is this really a high quality setup? If I had to take one trade today, would this be the trade that I would want to take? It'll be no. You wouldn't want to take that. Boom, why are you taking it? You know, like I just need to really hold myself accountable. I need to have more self accountability because that's something I'm just lacking right now, and it's reflecting in my trading, and I'm tired of it reflecting on my trading. This is something that the strategy works, the model works, everything works. It's just self accountability with risk management, and that's all it is. It's not really the model, it's not really technical, it's not really nothing. It's nothing. It's none of that. It's self accountability and risk management. Self accountability in the aspect of taking the highest quality setup for the day, and that's it. You're moving on. Just limiting yourself to one trade, capping your trade frequency. But you know that's really hard because a lot of people want to take. I used to be a scalper. I used to take at least like 5 trades in one day, and I'm gonna do my homework, and that's pretty much it. I'm done yapping. I'm gonna get to work. So yeah, peace.